Hello and welcome back to Sack to the Future. It is week 5 of 1971 and the final game for you. And let's see who it is.
Hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time. Just a gorgeous.
So that is correct. It's the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys, and both running backs had good weeks last week. Of course, the Cowboys have done basically everything right all 4 weeks. The Packers finally had a win last week, but it cost them their outside linebacker So Carter, who just the week before that took over as the starting middle linebacker over Nitschke, he will now move over to right outside linebacker, and Nitschke is back in there. So a week or possibly 2 off of being the starter, and now he's back as the starter. Also, last week the Packers went back to Bart Starr, and they won their first game of the year. So the Packers going super old school, and we'll see if that gets it done for them. They're going to need a lot of that old school Packer mentality to have a chance against the Cowboys, who have just been blowing people away at ridiculous rates so far this season. And there is a couple of, that might be offensive, or that might be personal foul against the offense for running over people too hard. No, it was a face mask. Face mask against the Packers. So right off the bat, the Cowboys start at basically midfield. And you don't need to give these Cowboys any extra yardage. So first play of the game is going to be a handoff to Calvin Hill, and he's going to fight his way across the first down marker. Gain of 12 up to the 40-yard line. Now a handoff to Dwayne Thomas, and he gets hit in the backfield, so a little bit of a difference in results for the two running backs there. Interesting. Madden not introducing us to the quarterback or the starters or anything today. Quick throw by Staubach, and that is going to be caught, but a lost yard. Nice tackle and read by Ellis. Are we going to see another replay? Interesting. Not sure exactly what's going on here. They might be waiting for drive 2. If not, I can go over the starters myself, of course. Staubach fires underneath, complete to Dwayne Thomas, and he gets close, but I think just short of the first down, just a yard short of the first down. And now, interesting call here. He can probably make this field goal, but it's not a gimme from 48. They are going to attempt the field goal. Morton will hold. And no, it's a fake. Morton flips it out to the kicker, who just gets annihilated. And the fake field goal does not work how the Cowboys want. So the Cowboys have done literally everything right. Come up with that interesting call. It might be the first time all season. And wouldn't you know that it would happen against the Green Bay Packers that they do their first thing incorrectly. There's Bart Starr. Old man Bart Starr. Sensational success in the 60s. Many surprised that he is still playing, though. Many think it's time for him to hang it up. He was not the opening day starter, but he has won the job back after the Packers started 0-3. Starr drops back, throws, completes across midfield. Starr, quick 2 of 2. Brockington, 11-yard reception. Brockington had a big week last week. Packers excited about that. All replays today, all replays. There's a pitch out to Brockington. He gets across the 40. Nice tackle by Renfro.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot.
22 carries, 121 yards last week. Brockington's got over 350 yards through 4 games, but he has not found the end zone yet.
90 Wolf. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
2nd and 5 for the Pack. Anderson in motion. The play action pass, Bart Starr over the middle, complete. And that is another first down for the Packers. Edwards on the tackle. And now a delay handoff to Brockington. He gets nowhere as Jethro Pugh picks him up and slams him down. And do we have any kind of starters? We do not. We do not. Play action pass. Starr actually has good time to throw. Fires over the middle and completes inside the red zone now. Bart Starr has started off 4 for 4, hitting Carroll Dale there. This feels like a mid-60s battle with the people that the Packers have gone back to other than Brockington. And Brockington, though, looking like Jim Taylor on that one until he just went out of bounds instead of looking for contact. That wouldn't have been Jim Taylor-like. But the Packers having this very successful first drive here against the Cowboys, which nobody has yet this season. 1st and goal. This will be the true test if they actually punch it in or if they have to settle for a field goal. Starr, play action pass, rolls out, fires back in the end zone. That is the touchdown. And the Packers have pretty much a perfect drive. It ends with Starr to McGeorge. And what is going on here? The Cowboys, who have been perfect in record and almost perfect per play. Staubach is leading the league in passing or passer rating. Dwayne Thomas is top 5 in rushing. The Cowboys as a team are top 2 in offense, top 5 in defense. 4-0, haven't played a close game yet. All this, Packers started off with 3 straight losses. Bart Starr finally led them to a win last week. And then wouldn't you know it, also the Packers come in with injuries. And then with all that said, somehow the Packers lead the Cowboys 7-0. All right. I'm sure they're not going to give us the Roger Staubach stats or anything, but he was, coming into this, he was right there with Bob Greasy of the Dolphins leading the league. Staubach has more yards than Greasy. Greasy has not turned the ball over yet this year, so that's why they're the top 2 rated quarterbacks. The other guys in the conversation are Len Dawson and John Brody, if you're interested. I feel like there's a 5th. I think there was 5 guys rated 100 or better. I can't remember. Virgil Carter. There's a handoff to Dwayne Thomas. He gets a big block on the outside and ducks out of bounds before Carter can get to him. Carter again moved over to the outside. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go through the start. We'll let each team have 2 possessions. So we'll let the Cowboys finish their drive. Let the Packers have one more drive. And then I'll just have to go through the starters, who hopefully you'll have heard most of their names by the time we get there. Quick throw, that might actually be a run. It's going to be considered a 2-yard loss on a run, which means had Ellis knocked that ball out of Allworth's hands, it would have been a fumble. Kind of a dangerous play to throw it that far, but behind you, because if he hits what would normally be an incomplete pass, turns into a fumble. There's a completion over the middle, complete to the fullback. And Staubach is a perfect 3 for 3. So Starr and Staubach both starting off perfect from the pocket. When Bart Starr does decide to hang it up, no doubt a Hall of Famer. Some people feel that Roger Staubach is destined to be a Hall of Famer, but it is too early to tell after just 2 years, I would say. Play action pass, or no, it's a reverse to Allworth. He had a lot of yards in front of him. If he doesn't make that diving tackle, if Robinson doesn't make that diving tackle, it's a huge gain. Oh, but was he drawn or was that a false start? That's going to be a false start against the Cowboys. So that pushes a 3rd and 2 back to a 3rd and 7. Staubach will back himself up into the shotgun. Roger the Dodger throws down the seams, got a man. It is, I think Lance Allworth was lined up over there. No, that's not Allworth. That's Mike Ditka. Thought it's I saw the 9 thinking it was 19, but Ditka definitely a different looking animal than Allworth, so that's my fault for needing glasses apparently. 1st and 10. Dwayne Thomas across the 5, spins his way down to the 2-yard line. Cowboys looking to answer. Staubach's been perfect. The Cowboys first drive got into field goal position, but they went for a fake field goal. Second drive, it looks like they're going more the traditional route. And Staubach's first incompletion is on purpose. He throws it out of the end zone. 3rd and 2. Packers need to make a big play if they want to keep the lead here. It is a handoff, and the Packers do come up with a big tackle. Multiple people hitting Dwayne Thomas before he's finally stopped. And now what will the Cowboys do at 4th and 1? They're upset that they got no points last time on the fake field goal. Do they try another fake? Now this time they play it straight. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Cowboys are on the board. They've scored every first quarter of the season. Although this one they didn't do it until 21 seconds left. So the Cowboys may in fact be trailing at the end of the first quarter for the first time this season. They should be, unless the Packers do something absolutely insane, like give up a defensive touchdown or something. Bart Starr will play action, fake it, and then fire downfield. He's got it. The play action pass is working today. Bart Starr 6 of 6. Bart Starr looking like the young man again. Bart Starr, of course, 37 years old. He's already put 15 years in this league, won multiple championships. Definitely a Hall of Famer. Expected to sort of be a... the Packers situation is interesting. Scott Hunter was the starter in week 1, the rookie. Drafted to be the replacement. Then you have Bart Starr, 37, and the other quarterback on the team is even older than that, Bartkowski, at age 40. So a ton of 32 years of experience behind the rookie Hunter. Hunter, they decided, needed to sit and maybe watch Bart Starr play for a little bit. And then, of course, the Packers won that game. Bart Starr, look at Bart Starr running. Bart Starr running and fumbling. So the old man, it took him a while to get there, but he did pick up the first down. Then, of course, fumbled the ball. Hunter can learn from Starr's mistakes as well. Starr having a great day passing, but not so much running. And now the Cowboys take over with good field position. There's a handoff to Dwayne Thomas, and there's nothing there, though. Okay, so we're enough drives in. Cowboys starters, of course. The quarterback is Roger Staubach. There you see him looking deep, and he's got his man. Did he hold on? Lots of hits, but he does. Ralph Neely is an offensive tackle reported eligible. I did not notice. And then Staubach goes to the tackle, he leaves his feet, makes the catch, and holds on to the ball. That's an amazing play by an offensive lineman. What is going on here? That's not just nobody covered the offensive lineman. He went out there. He was covered. He went up in the air, caught it, and took hits, and still came down with it. So, anyways, talk about Ralph Neely. Let's talk about the offensive line. Neely, John Nealon, Dave Manders, Blaine Nye, and Rayfield Wright. Pretty good offensive line. In fact, an offensive line that did not allow any sacks on Staubach until last week when the Saints actually got, I think, 2 or 3 on them. Tight end, of course, Mike Ditka. The receivers, Bob Hayes and Lance Allworth, both having great seasons. Fullback is Walt Garrison. Running back is Dwayne Thomas. And that is it. Or the second running back, I guess, is the man featured right there. Calvin Hill gets it down to the 30-yard line. Their opposition, the Green Bay Packers defense. Staubach fires, completes to Bob Hayes for the first down. Packers defensive line, Clarence Williams, Mike McCoy, Robert Brown, and Lionel Aldridge. Lionel Aldridge is another one of those that remembers these early to mid-60s games against the Cowboys. Dave Robinson, the excellent linebacker on the outside. Ray Nitschke, the old man, back in the starting lineup at the middle linebacker. And Jim Carter, the newly appointed middle linebacker, now suddenly turned right linebacker because of the injury to Fred Carr. The secondary is Ken Ellis, Al Matthews, Doug Hart, and Willie Wood. Willie Wood and Doug Hart both been around for a while. Willie Wood, almost as old as Bart Starr, just 2 years younger at age 35. And there's Staubach. I'm not sure if he was playing games or that was a misread as he thought Allworth was going into a slant. Allworth stayed there as if it was almost like a wide receiver screen, and that should have been intercepted. But I think the Packer guy was more surprised than anyone that Staubach hit him right in the hands with it. But the Packers do not take advantage to get the interception. And next play is short of a first down, so out comes Clark for his third field goal attempt. Of course, the first one they faked on. Second one they played straight. This one they played straight as well. And Clark is 2 for 2 because a fake field goal does not go against you, obviously. So Clark 2 for 2. The Packers lead shrinks to 1. But again, they have held the lead against the Cowboys longer than anyone else has this season. I don't even think the Cowboys have ever trailed. Trying to think. They didn't. Actually, I think the Saints may have grabbed the lead, but in the very next drive, the Cowboys got it back. Packers, of course, led by old man Bart Starr. We talked about that already. The running backs, the rookie sensation, John Brockington. Well, I say sensation. Running the ball, he has looked good, but he has not found the end zone yet, so he needs to develop that nose for the end zone. The fullback, Brockington is technically the fullback. The halfback, Donnie Anderson. You got Carroll Dale and John Spillis on the outsides. Rich George, the man who caught the touchdown, is the tight end. And the offensive line, Pay, Luke, Bowman, Gillingham, and Himes. Gillingham, one of the, he's not old, but he reminds you of the old school Packer lineman in his 6th year. Starr on 3rd and 14 will fire into all kinds of coverage, but it's knocked out of bounds, and the Packers will have to punt. Oh my God, that was a ridiculously good punt. I'm telling you what, the Packers aren't what they used to be, and the Cowboys are as good as they've ever been. Now, I shouldn't say as good as they've ever been because they have won a Sack to the Future Bowl in actually the very first season. But talent-wise, they are as good as they've ever been. They're loaded, and they have destroyed every opponent they've faced so far. They have not been forced to punt in this game yet either, and they have not turned it over, but they have been forced to settle for field goals, making 2 and opting to go for a fake field goal that did not work. And that's why somehow the Packers have a lead here against the Cowboys. It's just a little bit funny that the Packers just find a way to annoy the Cowboys. When it's all said and done, I think the Cowboys still going to win this game. But they are being made aware that it's going to be a fight. It's the Packers Cowboys. It's always going to be a fight. And that was a first down by Dwayne Thomas. I thought maybe he was short. Carter on the tackle, though. Roger Staubach out back from the shotgun. He will turn, fire downfield. He's got his man Allworth. And Staubach 9 of 12, already over 100 yards. Staubach averaging over 250 yards per game throwing, which is one of only 3 quarterbacks to average that many yards so far in this young part of the 71 season. But it's not too young. This is basically the ending of week 5, so we're starting to get some separation here. For instance, the Vikings are already 4-1, so the Packers cannot afford to lose this game if they want to stay in contention in the division. Cowboys would love to win this game and put themselves a full 3 games ahead of the rest of the division. There's a completion to Bob Hayes across midfield. Again, if you're just joining, the Cowboys have not been stopped. They stopped themselves once doing a fake field goal. It didn't turn out. Otherwise, they have points on every drive. No punts, no turnovers, but still trailing in the game. Staubach will turn. He'll hand off to Dwayne Thomas. There's a huge hole created by that offensive line all the way down to the 15-yard line. They're just asserting themselves. The Packers just feel like with all their experience and technical skill and everything else that they have, even though they're completely outmatched talent-wise, they're just scraping and clawing and holding on and making the Cowboys take as long as possible to score. But it's going to crack at some point. Before this half's over, the Cowboys are going to have the lead. It's pretty obvious. Play action pass. Staubach fires. There it is. Touchdown. And Roger Staubach strikes again. Cowboys take the lead 12-7. They are going to just go for 1 here. And Clark puts that through. 11-play, 94-yard drive. Took some time off the clock. Staubach already over 150, so on pace to get a 300-yard game, although the Cowboys will probably run a little bit more in the second half when they establish that they're the team in the lead. So Bart Starr started off completing his first 6 passes. Has definitely cooled up, but does he have any more old school Packer magic in him to get points before this half? They'll go with the youngster Rockington. Gets 3 yards. Does he call this before the 2-minute warning? No. So no rush is the way they want to play it here. Again, if you play it, if you did do the extra pass, maybe it's incomplete. All of a sudden you're punting. The Cowboys have even more time to get more points. On the other hand, you might need that time. Now that the Cowboys get a sack, it seemed like it was the smart thing to not rush and take that play. But the Cowboys call timeout. And now, instead of only making them call 1 time, you might be able to make them call 2. There's the handoff, sure enough, tackled. And the Packers have to punt again. Bob Lilly on the tackle. Backed up to the 16. Another great punt. Packers have had a couple good punts. This one's returned by Allworth up to the 30. So out comes the Cowboys again. 4 drives. Fake field goal disappointment. Then field goal, touchdown. Dwayne Thomas, you see on the year, 465 yards. He's only 35 yards away from hitting 500 here in just game number 5. Staubach fires downfield, and that is caught by Bob Hayes. I'm telling you, Staubach, Hayes, and Allworth are just the triangle of death for defenses And then, on top of that, they still have a good offensive line that gives Staubach time. Mike Ditka is not, he's not past his prime yet. At least he doesn't look like it this season. And, of course, Dwayne Thomas, we just talked about having 500 yards rushing by the time this game is over, most likely. They're going to challenge it, I think, for sure. That puts definitely in. The knee might even be in. I guess it's a challenge from upstairs, technically. But that was ludicrous. He was clearly in. It's a nice catch, Bob Hayes. And the Cowboys already look poised to get more points. Look at that offensive line just all season long. The Saints, the only one to have a little bit of success is they did get to Staubach a couple times. But everyone else has just stood there and watched the Cowboys offensive line completely dominate any pass rush. Here's Dwayne Thomas going in motion. That will... Ralph Neely's eligible again. We saw Staubach hit Neely for a 20-yard pass earlier. Ralph Neely was on an eligible receiver on that play yet again, but of course this time they didn't go to 3rd and 5. Staubach throws out. He's got Bob Hayes, turns upfield, gets the first down. Staubach at 80%. He's just doing things that aren't supposed to be done in 1971. Staubach again fires across the... Oh, that was just dropped. Ball was right there, but it was dropped. 38 seconds from the 38. They still have one timeout, so they can definitely use the middle. Now, if you want to use the middle for that short of a gain, but that's what the Cowboys elect to do. And now they'll save the timeout, but they did waste some time, so now they can use any part of the field and then just call a timeout. Goes very short. That was not, the Cowboys have done almost everything right. That fake field goal was probably the first thing they did wrong. And that clock management / play calling right there at the very end might have been the second thing they did wrong. Let's see if that cost them 3 points. Yep. So they've done 2 things wrong this whole year, and it cost them 3 points on both accounts. And, of course, both things they did wrong were against the Packers, which is just funny. Funny to... anyone who has seen Sack to the Future. Starr just takes the knee, gets into the locker room, and I agree with him in all. Look at the stats: 187-53 and 73-30. By all accounts, the Cowboys should have a bigger lead than 6 points. So just get into the locker room, down by just 1 score, and get the ball to start the second half. So even if the Cowboys never play a game that's close statistically, we might have our first game here where they actually play a close game on the scoreboard. 13-7. Consider that close for sure. Starr drops back. He's going to throw, and there's really the first indication of Bart Starr not being what he used to be with the arm. We saw him when he scrambled the one time as well. Lilly comes through. Starr gets rid of it. So there's the other side of it, the experience, the poise. Lilly has had games of 4 sacks before, but Starr has not let him get to him yet today. Starr fires across the middle. That's complete for a first down. Green and Renfro on the tackle. Carroll Dale across midfield. 13.5 to go in the third quarter. Packers threatening to get in the field range. Still not there. There's a throw. All kinds of coverage by Renfro. The Packers sideline thought he interfered. Got there too early, but the Cowboys and the refs agree that was perfectly timed. Brockington, not much. The problem with the Cowboys is their secondary is loaded and their front 7 are loaded, so it's hard to run, it's hard to pass. 3rd and 10, Starr drops back. They've double-teamed Bob Lilly almost every play, which which is the first team to do that. And that's probably why it's the first team to be relatively in the game. There is a kick inside the 20. It goes out at the 11. So an unsung hero is definitely the Packers punter. He's had a couple booming punts from his side of the field that kind of flipped field position and made the Cowboys have to have longer drives that the Packers were able to figure out 2 of the 3 times how to stop them in field goals. And then that's another good punt. Not booming, but well placed so that it's not a touchback. And there's Calvin Hill comes with an injury. So again, just little things here and there. The Cowboys have cost themselves 6 points with a couple of mistakes, and now that's not a mistake, that's an injury. But still, some things happening in this game that have not happened to the Cowboys all season long. And that's really all adding up to make this game closer than we are used to. Staubach fires downfield. That's knocked away. 2nd and 10. Staubach's throws are always right there, though. I mean, that time there was a lot of coverage. Hard for Hayes to come down with it, but the throw was still there. That one's not there, though. The old announcer's curse. Staubach misfired on that one, and that was knocked down. 3rd and 10. Look at that offensive line. Just, you want all day? Here's all day. Completes underneath to Dan Reeves. That's not enough for the first down. The Packers played coverage, which gave Staubach a lot of time, but they didn't let anyone come open across the first down marker, so it did work. Cowboys will punt, one of the rare times, and the Packers return it up to the 31-yard line. And up to Brockington, breaks a tackle. And now he's hurt. Brockington hurt. Now Calvin Hill, the second running back of the Cowboys, hurt. And now the top running back or fullback from the Packers is hurt. So that might get us to see some more. Maybe they'll give Anderson some more carries. Or Barstar will just throw more across the middle. Carroll Dale. Barstar 9 of 14, 112 yards in the touchdown. He has been playing pretty well. Elijah Pitts, the other running back that I was thinking might get more carries. I think he's out there now. But Star's going to throw again. And, Spillis holds on to it. That was a lot of traffic around him, but he did hang on. Quick handoff to Donnie Anderson. Nothing. Hit by multiple people. Harris came flying up from the safety position. And others, George Andre. Many people there to make sure he's nowhere near first down. 3rd and 3. And now they give it to Anderson again. Better blocking this time, but he still, I don't think, got there. Which is short. Big tackle made by Leroy Jordan, who didn't have 12 teammates helping him, but did it himself. And now Michaels, this is a long field goal. Michaels has been doing it for a while, but I don't know if, did that get over? That got over. What a great kick by Mike. I'm a little bit surprised he made that one, but he did. Michaels puts it through, and the Packers just finding ways to inch and claw their way into this game. It's 13-10. The mighty Cowboys in a fight, which is ultimately good for them. I mean, you can't go the whole season just blowing people out, or else in the playoffs, you'll inevitably get into a close game, and you have to have at least a little bit of experience playing such things. Packers have come a long way in the last couple of weeks after losing 3 games in a row, making the switch to Bart Starr. They're definitely a more competitive team as they won last week, and they are giving the Cowboys a fight here, which we were starting to wonder if it was even possible. I mean, there's still the top tier teams that, like the Cowboys, have not lost a game, such as in the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams. And in the AFC, you've got 2 teams out in the West, Kansas City Chiefs and Denver Broncos. The Broncos, starting to believe. I mean, they keep winning. The Chiefs I know are good and talented. So I think I could easily put the Chiefs up as the top team there. And the Rams kind of like the, not the Chiefs, kind of like the Broncos. Just keep winning, so you got to put them as the number 2 team in the NFC right now. Everyone waiting for that Cowboys-Rams game. But until then, the Packers are giving us something to watch. Hand off Dwayne Thomas. He fakes one way, goes to the right. Gets a couple more yards, 3rd and 8. Staubach drops back. And in trouble, and Staubach gets hit, fumbles the football, but his offensive lineman recovers the fumble, so Aldridge gets in there and gets the sack. Staubach fumbles the football. That might be his first fumble. I don't remember. The Saints finally got to him. The first time anyone got to Staubach was last week. The Saints got to him, I think, 3 times, maybe twice. And one of those times, did he fumble? I don't think he fumbled. So I think that might be his first fumble, but he did not lose the fumble. So they are able to punt it away, but now the Packers have the ball down by just a field goal. Elijah Pitts, first carry of the game, gets 2 yards. Packers have only run 30 plays on offense. So they're not doing it by keeping Staubach on the sidelines. Completion to Anderson, short of the first down. 3rd and 2. It's a handoff and not going to get there. Not going to get there. Anderson is beat down by Edwards, and the Packers go quick 3 and out. So I'm talking about they're not playing the possession game. But they are in the fight, and the punter has been great. The Packers punter has been absolutely top tier this game.
Ready, break. Watch out.
So now Staubach back his own 4. Of course, the 1 touchdown drive that the Cowboys did have, they started back on their own 6, I think, and had a 94-yard touchdown drive. So this is their worst starting position. Their second worst starting position ended up being their best drive. So let's see, maybe the Cowboys enjoy being pushed back. Thomas had a great first play there to get it out to the 21. Now Staubach will fire over the middle. Actually threw it into double coverage. And that's incomplete. Staubach turns, fires to the outside. That's complete to Mike Ditka. He turns upfield, gets the first down. Staubach already over 230 yards passing. Ditka 4 catches, 60 yards. Packers look like they might want to pressure. He backs out of it. Staubach still has all day. Fires, hits Bob Hayes across midfield. 24 of 33. Staubach enjoying a great year behind a phenomenal offensive line so far. Quick drop from Staubach. Thinks differently of it, rolls out to the right and throws it away. Not sure what they had set up, but whatever it was, Staubach saw something he didn't like. Maybe someone dropped back into coverage that took away the quick pass. So instead of forcing it, he smartly just gets out of there and will try play number 2. It's a handoff to Dwayne Thomas. He's up to 67 yards now. And will Staubach want to get one more play? He can if he wants it. 3, 2, 1. No. No, we have the lead. Why snap it? Third quarter comes to an end. The Cowboys in the closest game of their season. But they are, they have been the better team. It's just not as dominantly better as their other games. But it's not, a questionable decision going for a fake field goal and then a little bit of time management thing at the end of the first half, possibly some coaching, but the players are still doing everything right. I mean, the Packers are hanging in there, but the Cowboys have still looked phenomenal to almost unstoppable on offense. They've still looked great on defense. They haven't forced turnovers, but everything else they've done phenomenally well on both sides of the ball. It's just the Packers are, I guess, the best opponent that they've had to play. I think the Dolphins are more talented, but they beat the Dolphins pretty easily. It's almost like, even though it's a Madden football game, the Packers understand the history here or something. There's a completion underneath, though, and Dwayne Thomas will get away from Nitschke as Nitschke lunges and does make the tackle. If Thomas would have got any more separation against Nitschke, he would have been gone. Of course, as Nitschke he could never have caught Thomas, but at this age, he knew he had even less time than usual to get that shoelace tackle on him before it was too late. Staubach fires end zone. It's knocked away at the last minute. Looking for Ditka. So that brings up 2nd and 10. Here's where the Packers have been at their best, really, is stopping the Cowboys, forcing them to make field goal attempts. And there's a tackle by McCoy. 12 minutes to go in this one. Cowboys up by 3, 3rd and 9. Staubach will actually hand off to Dwayne Thomas, and that's not going to get it done. Trying to take the Packers by surprise. The tackle made up front there by a man that's hard to fool, Clarence Williams. Clark puts the field goal through. He's 3 of 4. His one miss, of course, was when the questionable clock management at the end of the first half that left him with a longer than necessary field goal attempt, which he did miss. So the Packers, they've been punched and battered a little bit, but they're still here. They have a puncher's chance, if you will, as they have not been knocked out, and it's still a one-score game. Look at it. Total yards 375 to 155. So as far as that kind of stuff is concerned, the Packers have been smart enough not to turn the ball over, but otherwise the Cowboys are beating them just as much as they've beaten everyone else. But the Packers just find a way to keep the score closer than any other team was capable of doing. There's a pitch out to Elijah Pitts, couple more yards. 3rd and 4. Now, the Packers have had a couple 3-and-outs, so I think they really need this first down, or else the Packer defense is finally going to crack. And they do get a big play from Pitts. He gets it across midfield. They needed that play. They needed that play because the Packers defense needs to rest at least one more series. Now, obviously, they need points to have a chance to win this game, but just to keep it from being a blowout, they needed that first down. And then Bart Starr comes up with a nice throw and a nice catch from his receiver, Carroll Dale. And now the Packers, with 9 minutes to go, are getting close to field goal range. Obviously, a touchdown is what they prefer, but there's time to kick the field goal, I think. Starr will throw it over to his man. Is it McGeorge? McGeorge over there, just inside the 30. Packers have finally hit the 200-yard mark. And Starr will fire across the middle, and it's intercepted. There's the mistake they weren't making. Bart Starr gets picked off by Herb Adderley, of all people, the ex-Packer. And the Cowboys now, the good news is the Packers defense got a little bit of rest. The bad news, of course, is the turnover. And you've been feeling like this game's about to crack open. The Cowboys are still unstoppable. It's just been sort of hidden. It's like smoke and mirrors at 16-10. That interception may have cracked the illusion. Let's see if the Packers have any more magic to keep. There's Staubach looking for it all. He's got his man, Bob Hayes, and he does not get in the end zone. He gets down to the 2-yard line. But you could just kind of tell it was happening. The crack, and then the interception just smashed it open. Staubach, knowing the moment is there, hits Bob Hayes on the deep pass. Bob Hayes almost keeps his balance and gets to the end zone, but actually falls down at the 2-yard line. Even a field goal, though, makes this a 2-score game. So that is the crack. Would not be surprised if it's a touchdown on this play. Staubach, quick drop, gets hit from behind. And that would have been the reverse sorcery, I guess, if Aldridge would have made him fumble. But that might have just been a wake-up call, like, okay, let's just make sure we don't somehow turn it over, because that's the only way the Packers can stay in this game. I don't see the Packers scoring 2 more drives against the Cowboys. So 3rd and goal, whether this is a touchdown or not, game should be over. Oh my God, what a catch. Staubach goes with the fade, and Bob Hayes shows he's more than just a speedster as he goes up and makes a fantastic catch for the touchdown. Oh man, the Packers with the game on the line. Look at that. Woods over there hit him. Matthews plays it almost perfect, and it doesn't matter. Hayes gets the touchdown, and now the Cowboys are going to go for 2. Allworth in motion. Staubach drops back. They pick up the blitzer, and that was just they had that play earlier down here, like 4 plays ago, and Staubach got sacked. So what they did, Landry made the adjustment. Same play, Aldridge coming around, same way, but there's the back is standing there to block him. Give Staubach the time he needs to hit a wide open Allworth. And the 2-point conversion is successful. So now I still say the Packers put up the best fight of anyone, but 14 points is not a blowout. So I guess, kind of like the Dolphins, the Cowboys beat the Dolphins by 17 points. So they have not played a blowout in every game, I guess, but it's just yards-wise and just the feel of it. It doesn't feel like anyone has really gotten close to the Cowboys yet. Let's put it this way. I've never thought the Cowboys were in danger of losing any of the games that they've played. So 3rd and inches, Starr almost throws another interception. They're going to go for it on 4th down because, technically they have all their timeouts. It's still possible. You got to go for it. Starr gets destroyed, though. I knew they had to go for it. I also knew they weren't going to get it. The Cowboys. Okay, now the Cowboys need to calm down. Just run the ball. There's no reason that they have to turn it into a blow. Okay, they are running it. Dwayne Thomas. We have seen the Cowboys do a little bit of this in the second half where the game's already, over. And then they just kind of ramp up the score to make the game even more of a blowout than it looks. We'll see if they do that to the Packers or not. There's certainly some sack to the future hatred of these two teams, so wouldn't be completely surprised if they ran up the score. Especially this game will put the Cowboys at the Packers at 1-4, so they're likely not going to meet the Packers in the playoffs. As far as any sort of revenge factor or anything, Ditka gets the first down there. Now that was just throwing to get the first down. I don't think that was trying to up the score or anything. We'll see what happens here, though. Clearly should be running. Nope, they're throwing. Okay. So, yep, those dirty Cowboys always like to run up the score and sack to the future. History doing it again. This is a handoff, though. Dwayne Thomas maybe showing mercy on his own, because it looked like the hole was there. He slowed down on his own and just kind of went down at the 5-yard line. 24-10, inside a 2-minute warning. Now, if the Cowboys hand off and the Packers call timeout, nope, they're going to throw. Man, it's easy to hate the Cowboys. They're so good that they're not going to get beat, so you can't spend too much time hating them, but just running up the score and stuff, just to make sure nobody thought this game was close. And it was close. It was close for a while. Then the Packers threw the interception. Cowboys knew it was their chance. They put the game away, and then when the game was already put away, now they're just running up the score to make themselves look better. I don't know. Everyone does it differently. The Cowboys, obviously, zero class, but that's okay. They do have a sack of the future Super Bowl, and it looks like they're going to get another one. Although, again, there's a couple challenges. The Rams and the Chiefs also undefeated. Hardstar fumbles the football. He did pick it up. Okay. The offensive line does pick it up. Otherwise, I'm sure Staubach would have came out throwing to make it 38-10. Starr fires to no one. At this point, why don't the Packers just run the ball knowing that the Cowboys are intent on running up the score? Stahl fires downfield. Oh, he had him. He had him open, but he missed him. And now they should just be punting. Why are they playing? Okay, so this is equally as bad. You're down by 3 scores. There's no way. Why not just punt? Starr drops back, fires deep downfield, and is picked off. Should have been banded away. Well, unless he gets a return. I guess it doesn't matter. Had he just banded it down, they would have had 6 yards closer. But since Herb Adderley returned it, I mean, against his former team, I guess it made sense he wasn't going to let that interception go. And so now when it's all said and done, because it looks like Staubach's in shotgun to try to run up the score more, it's going to look like a blowout, and the turnovers are 3-0. So it looks like a blowout in turnovers and score when it's all said and done. But really, at about 11 or 10 minutes to go in the game, it was still in semi-question. It was still a 1-score game, but we knew who was going to win. So the Cowboys actually do run the ball, and if they don't snap it, maybe they pull back a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of respect shown at the end, but still the Cowboys, still too talented for everyone else in this league. We'll see if they play the Rams or the Chiefs ever, but you might have to wait for that Rams game until the playoffs. Anyways, it was more entertaining than usual, but still ends up being a 21-point win. And look at all those yards. Still 400, still right at the 500-yard mark, just under. So the Cowboys, again, just blowing people off the ball. Staubach over 70% every time. Almost 400 yards. He's probably the league leader in both yards and ratings now. We'll check that out when we do the wrap-up type of thing, the newspaper, in a few minutes. But thank you for watching, and have a good night.